Today, if you are watching this video, I am giving you permission right now to prioritize your own reality, to be strong in your frame of reality. If you are coming from the right place, if you have a good heart, if you're looking for the truth and you're open to real reflection about things and real conscious awareness with other people. I come from this background. I know a lot of people come from this background, coming from a disempowered background. If you were in situations as a kid or you went through some traumatic things where there was a pressure on you to fold to someone else's viewpoint of something, if there was some major injustice going on, right? Where if you were a kid and your feelings didn't matter, right? One or more parents or a guardian or someone that you were looking to for guidance had an attitude of, if you express what you're doing or you act out of authentic expression about something, you need to stop because I don't want you to do that, or you need to abide by my rules because this is the structure and the outline to which you are acceptable. What do you think we develop in adulthood? We develop this complex of, my reality isn't good enough. I need to make sure that that person's reality is I'm fitting into, and I'm looked at as a good person in that person's mind, right? And it comes from this disempowered place where we don't love ourselves enough, respect ourselves enough, accept ourselves enough, understand ourselves enough to say, it's okay if you look at me like I'm a bad person, if you are going to villainize or demonize me for something that I know I did not do, right? And let me be very clear here, right? I am not in any way supporting not listening to someone, not having compassion for someone, invalidating someone's emotions. I'm coming from the place of, if you have the energy of, let's get to the truth of what's going on here. I'm open, I'm loving, I'm compassionate, I want to understand, and I want to communicate with somebody so that we can get to a place where we're both understood, we're both seeing things clearly, and we can work through something together if there's a disagreement. But you have to ask yourself right now, if someone is telling you a bunch of things, if you're working through a situation with somebody and you see it one way, like, okay, I feel like this person isn't treating me very well because of they're doing these things and they're kind of projecting these things onto me. Yet that person is saying, well, you're doing all these things to me, right? And especially if it's very like, what are you even talking about? I think when you come from a disempowered background, the instinct is, how do I kind of ease this person's tension and please them and make it so they don't look at me as a bad person? So you kind of go, okay, like, I want to be looked at as I'm an understanding person who's validating your emotions and stuff. So you say, okay, like, I understand you see it that way, but I don't really get how you're getting there or why you think I'm doing all these negative things to you that I'm not doing. A lot of times, that person's doing it themselves, but they're just not as aware as you are, and maybe you can see it a little clearer, right? But you have to ask yourself, when those things happen, is this person's reality built around the same as mine, which is getting to truth, working through things, looking openly in a self-reflective way, wanting to see if I'm doing something wrong or being hurtful to someone? Or is their reality built around just protecting their ego? Because a lot of times people will do bad things, mistreat you, but then they will convince themselves that you're actually a bad person or doing something bad to like weirdly justify this like bad behavior or mistreatment or not being very good to people. You know what I mean? And, I've been in a lot of situations in my life where this is the case. And so much of the time, it only disconnected me from myself to try to maintain some level of I want this person to see me as a good person. And the more you can get strong in yourself, the more you just do the work to face the painful parts of yourself, the more you understand yourself, accept yourself. When someone is reflecting to you something like that, where they're saying, well, you're doing this and you're doing this and you did this to me and all this stuff, and you're looking at it like, I just don't see it that way at all. I'm not saying you just shut them down, but I'm saying you have to be strong in that experience of, I just don't think I'm doing that. Really reflect on it. Think, did I do anything wrong? And if you don't think you did anything wrong, there's a way to respectfully make that clear. It's like if someone says, well, you're invalidating me and you don't care about me because of this and you don't do this and you don't do this. And I feel like that person's doing that or something, right? And I feel like I don't see where they're getting this, but I have clear, you can tell when you're talking to someone and you're like, well, I feel like this is kind of happening because of this, and I see this as an example here. And then when you ask them, what have I done really to make you feel this way? And oftentimes they don't really know what to say. In a moment like that, how can I talk to somebody in a respectful way, but one that holds my empowerment? Saying, well, I respect that you have a different version of reality, but I do not see that I did any of those things. I think this is what's happening, right? And you can be respectful about it. You can be compassionate, but you can do it without abandoning yourself. So really the message here is trust your frame of reality. But in order to trust your frame of reality, you have to be willing to look at reality. You have to be willing to look at yourself clearly. Because if you can look at yourself clearly, then you can easily discern what's yours, what's not, but also discern whether you're projecting things onto people, whether other people are projecting things onto you. If I don't know myself, those things are all really confusing, and I speak from experience. I've been through that a billion times because it took me a long time people know me as I've always been some self-assured person in an external way, but it took a long time for me to ground myself deeply in who I am, enough in these personal, intimate relationships to be able to say, I trust myself, love myself, respect myself enough to not just kind of blindly agree with someone else's version of me that they're reflecting to me. Unless I really think about it, and if I discern, well, I don't think that's what's happening, then I just have to be strong in that. I have to empower myself more, right? This is a message for people who disempower themselves. This is not a message for people who manipulate. This is not a message for people who dominate others. This is not a message for people who want power, control. This is a message for the people who need to regain their power, need to regain their freedom within themselves, not over others, within themselves. Okay? It's important. The more you can stay in your own energy, stay solid and strong in this frame of reality that you have, that is beautiful, and believe in it and trust in it, the easier life is going to get. The more you're going to weed out people who don't look at you the way that you are, because a lot of people in life have an energy that isn't necessarily aligned with ours. And a lot of people sometimes, well, I'm not going to say a lot. I'm not going to put that trip on you, but there's times in life when people are going to look at you in a way that you know you're not, and that is okay. Don't allow that to threaten your sense of self, but you must develop a strong sense of self. And that includes looking at the things you don't want to look at, to know who you are. And I implore you, be strong. Be strong. I'm sending you my energy. Let's rise up together, okay? And if this resonated with you, if this touched you in some way, or this isn't me. These are messages coming through me from the divine. So, the sun. Then leave a like, Subscribe for more. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. I'm posting lots of short snippets of these kind of messages every single day or every other day if I, get a little busy or something. So, stick around for more. There will be more coming. I'm going to do some crazy exit.